showed you guys what my new kitten really looks like. You guys, when I first got pupped, so I want to record and save this memory of how small our new cat is. So here she is. I recorded her a few times already, and she is 100% pure Persian. She's so tiny. She's so tiny. We call her Winterfell, and it's from Game of Thrones. So here are the two kitties together. Look how big Puff got. He's so ginormous now. Look at them compared to each other. I wanted to Aloha Mai today. It is ʻAʻole Ehiku, which is June 7th. This is really hard for me to film right now. Okay, I already tried to film this once before, but I was kind of getting distracted. Let me just start, I guess, what had happened from the beginning of the day. So I remember having Winter in the house. She comes in usually every night and every morning. She plays with her kitten, and she eats sometimes like her leftover food, and she just hangs out about, and we just get to like play with her or whatever. So I remember the night before, I remember Winter was there, and that was the night before what had happened. And so I remember in the morning she was let out. I don't know when exactly, but in the morning basically she was let out, and she was actually out of the house before I left. I don't remember seeing her in the morning. I don't remember that. I don't recall it, and it like eats me up inside that I don't remember the last time. I don't remember that day if I saw her, but I know that the night before I did see her at night. We went to work, we did our usual stuff. I had to go to a mandatory meeting for Palele's preschool after work, so I went straight from my job and I stayed there for like a couple hours, and I actually was kind of lingering a little, just like mingling or hanging out with the other parents. And then when I came home, I remember going up to my stairs. So normally when I come home, Winter is outside. If she's outside, she comes straight to me and she like just walks with me to the house. So she walks up the stairs, and it's kind of like re-race. She runs up the stairs and she's already up there while I'm still like walking up. And so I remember not thinking much of it when I arrived home, because like I said, she sometimes is outside and meets me, sometimes she's already in the house. So I just remember walking up the stairs, and it was almost like God just told me to turn around. I don't know what made me look, and I feel like it was God telling me to turn around, because I normally just walk straight in the house. I can't wait to get in the house and take off all my bags. I just remember stopping at the top of the stairs, and I looked back, and I'll show you what it looks like when I looked that certain way. But I just remember looking back, and in this area, I should have brought napkins or Kleenex. I just remember looking this way, and I see her white fur but on the ground on this hill right there, and I see her white fur, and I look at I just see her feet, the way her feet looked, it just didn't look good. It didn't look like a normal lay position that she's in. I stopped and I stopped at the top of the stairs and I looked and I was like, oh, I think something's wrong. And I was like, can you check? I was like, is Winter okay? Speaking to Puloku and I was speaking to Darren. They are still at the bottom, and Puloku actually was like halfway up the stairs, speaking more towards Darren, who was at the bottom of the stairs. And I was like, I said, is Winter okay? Can you check? And then I was like, is she okay? And then Puloku looked and he's like, is she dead? And I was like, I don't know. And then Darren's like, no, she's not, can't be. And then he looked up, he goes, Winter, pss, pss. And I was doing it too. I was like, Winter, pss, pss. And she wasn't responding. It was, her body was just there. She didn't respond. Like, I was calling her and I was like, pss, pss, sorry, Winter. And she wasn't responding. She didn't move at all. And Darren was like clapping and he was like, wait, what? And he said that at that moment he knew that something was wrong, because if she wasn't responding, like, she is she's the type of cat that listens to her name and she responds. She comes. So Darren climbed on, because it's like a hill, so he climbed up the wall and he said he just nudged her, and he nudged her and she didn't move. I'm meaning here the cat that's crying, it's actually Puff. And Puff and Winter were pretty close, obviously, because we got them around the same time. We got them 4 months apart. I think he misses her. He probably feels lonely without her. Her kitten feels lonely without her too. After Darren touched her, I was just like, shut. I was like swearing, but like not bad way. I was just like, shut the up. Are you serious? But sure, and she wasn't moving, and I had to see for myself. So I decided to climb up the hill. I looked down at her and her insides, just a little like disclosure, if you don't like want to know the details of it, just don't listen to this next part. I don't know when I'm gonna stop, but just kind of skipping through. But her insides, like her intestines and her body parts, were out of her body. Around her stomach area, they were completely out of her body, and I thought someone did this to her. Polana said that there were big dogs around the neighborhood, but the thing is, she's white fur and everything. There's no blood, like no blood, no redness on her any part of her entire white fur body. That's what I just like, I don't know, like I knew it wasn't a dog. It could have been an attack. I was wondering if it was like somebody, like did someone slit her? But when I looked closely, there is this root that's growing out of the ground. Part of her guts or whatever, I don't know what it is, it was attached to this root that was sticking out of the ground. When Darren kicked it, it was pretty solid, and he basically said it's kind of like a sharp knife, like a spear almost, just poking up out of the ground. And we don't know what happened. Like, we don't know if she climbed a tree, she fell on it. We don't know if she was just running so fast, pretty much pierced herself into this root in the ground, which is what kind of like made us think we're pretty positive that it was that, because there's just like no blood or anything. So I don't know what happened. I think it happened on June 5th. She was like gone for probably the whole day. It was probably like in the morning it happened. Puloku instantly started crying. Puloku already was like started to cry. He ran into the house, and I didn't start crying until later because I didn't want to, I don't know. I was in shock, and I was comforting Puloku. He was taking it the hardest. I just couldn't see Winter's body after that. Darren ended up burying her by himself. He ended up crying while he was doing it. Winter has been with us for, it would have been 2 years, July 4th, 2017, and she has been such a good kitty. She actually is the only cat that I had that sleeps in a kitty bed. She had 3 litters and only 1 surviving kitten, though. That day, her kitten was crying for her. It was like crying by the door, crying by the window, like days, like a week after she was gone. Like her kitty was still looking for her, crying for her. Some cute things that I loved about Winter is that she slept in a cat bed, which sometimes most of our cats that we had never did that. She used to love to roll on her back. She liked it because she did that because she liked it when we rubbed her belly, and it was, I just love that about her. She loved to cuddle ever since she was a kitten. She just loves to cuddle and she just loves to be petted. A funny thing about her is like she hated car rides. She did not like car rides or baths. She would fight me whenever I would bathe her. She literally hated baths. And when we were like be on the plane flying here to move here, every car ride she would meow like the whole way. Ever since we got her, the first day we ever got her, out the whole way from where we picked her up to where we live, and that was like almost 2 hours. So 2 hours like just crying the whole way as a kitten. And I just, oh my gosh, just have so many memories of her, and I'm gonna definitely miss Winter. And every time we pass, when we're going up our stairs, we always say like, I love you, Winter. And even the kids do that too. Every time we come home now, while we're walking up the stairs, we're like, love you, Winter. And it's just our little thing that we love to do for her. Sad that she's not here because she really was a good kitten. It's just such a weird thing of how she, it was like a tragic freak accident thing, like a root in the ground, like what the heck. So that's what happened to Winterfell, and now we are left with 2 cats. Did you want to say anything?
I have one thing to say. Our watch has ended.
OMG.
We love you, Winter.
Oh yeah, if you don't know why we named her, we call her Winter, but name is Winterfell, but we just call her Winter for short because of Game of Thrones. We just love. So
burn her body.
What we think is kind of cool is she left us a part of her, which is her kitten. And if you look at Shadow, her face looks just like Winter, but she's just black. Like she just has black fur, but she looks exactly like Winter. And when she cries, it sounds exactly like Winter. And it's so crazy. And we were like saying, Winter left us her shadow. Literally, she left us her shadow. It's like she left us her, but her shadow. And that's her kitten. And at least we have her to remember her by.
So Shadow's the night watch.
Sharon's like tying everything into Game of Thrones, which is fine because her name is literally Winterfell, and why we named her Winterfell is because of Game of Thrones. But that is why you probably would not be seeing Winter in any of the vlogs anymore. Just want to say I love you, Winter. I'm gonna miss you. being together.
Kaulana nā pua o Hawai'i Upa ama o te o ka aina